Okay, so the weirdest food I have ever tried was chicken hearts. I was at a graduation party for one of my roommates, and her family is from Portugal, and I guess that's something they eat commonly over there. I thought it tasted like some normal any other meat. I didn't think that I was eating a chicken heart until after, and they told me. And I don't know why, but after I felt a little gross when I found out what it was. But as I was eating it, I didn't think anything of it, but certainly not something I would have had otherwise.
One time in high school, I ate this dish called escargot, which is French food, I believe. I mean snails, so they're little tiny snails. It was definitely really interesting. They kind of look like clams. They have a mild taste. They put like garlic and herbs in it, so they taste good, but it's kind of weird thinking you're eating a snail. I think in our culture it's really not normal to eat snails, but I'd say my interaction and experience with it was overall good.
The weirdest food that I've ever eaten was alpaca. When I was in Peru, I ate some alpaca, and it was very tasty and tender, but I felt a little weird about eating such a fluffy, friendly animal. But would I do it again? Probably. Yeah.
So the strangest food I've ever tried, I'm gonna go with kangaroo burger. Surprisingly good though, but definitely a lot different than like typical like beef burger. But yeah, I would say kangaroo.
The most unusual food I've probably had would be a century egg, which is pretty common in Chinese cuisine, and is something that I grew up eating. When I first had it though, I absolutely hated it. But as I grew up and started eating it more and more, I started to really enjoy it, and now it's part of my regular diet.
So the weirdest food I think I've ever eaten was at this like big meat restaurant in Portugal, and I don't eat meat, so I had to go with whatever like vegetarian options there were. And it was this one thing called like these black ear mushrooms, I think. They literally look like ears, like some sort of animal ear, sort of like triangle. I thought they would be hot, but they were cold. And I don't want to say that they were pickled, but like kind of. They tasted kind of like slimy, but also like chewy and rubbery at the same time. The taste itself wasn't bad, but the texture freaked me out. So I don't know if I would ever eat it again. That's probably one of the weirder foods that I've eaten.